Sounds like a greedy asshole runs the publisher company and is one of those like, yeah,
No,
I'll
I've
get.
I've never heard that story before.
I'm good for it. I swear.
And they work with a fucking developer in the Ukraine, and they go, fuck these former Soviet bloc idiots. We can push around anybody in the Ukraine, as publishers like to do.
You can imagine the type, right? When again, pre-release, late payments, chasing down someone to pay you, and then you get that little like, hey man, where's the money that you're supposed to send? And it's like, um, oh yeah, no, I'll get right on that. Okay, cool. And then like, sometime later, hey, I never got that money you were supposed to give me, and it's like, oh shit, right, yeah, okay, no problem. It's I sent it right now. It's right. It's on its way, and it's like, wait, but you said you sent it already. What the fuck? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know. You know the types. You know the types, and oftentimes they are in charge of making big decisions. And
Yeah,
in many cases,
every time
they got to
I
that
have
seat
ever
based on that attitude.
every time I've ever forgotten to give somebody a check or something like that, and they bring it up, I'm mortified. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's not great.
And then I always do it within like 5 minutes, and then I always just like usually if just like here's extra. I feel so bad. Oh, but the moment that you go, oh yeah, I sent it, and that's not true,
Mm-hmm.
fucking scum.
You definitely like. Man, I used to work a place where
Mm-hmm.
the regular day to day was get your paycheck on paycheck day,
Oh
and
fuck! I know
before you
exactly what you're gonna
even
say.
open it, before you even open it, walk to the paycheck complaints line to complain about the hours that are missing from your paycheck. Like, don't even check. Like, just get it, and that line is huge. You need to get there so that you'll be able to get out because it's past 5 o'clock. Walk to the line, open up your check while you're in line, and sure enough, lo and behold, you've cut hours off of my check that I did work. You fucking
every
scumbags.
every every single week it was uh it's one of those things where when I worked at the grocery store, originally we did not have a punch card, right? And without the punch card, every single motherfucking week it would be, hey, I stayed an extra hour because you asked me, and that's not on here. And they go, oh, our mistake is because it wasn't on the schedule, right? And then eventually the new owner comes in and goes, we're gonna have fucking punch cards because people are taking. I think that guy took a 20-minute break instead of a 15, and that's wasting us money. And this backfired horribly, like horrible, because at the end of the week you just grab your card and your paycheck and walk up and go, you fucked this up.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
look,
Yep.
it's fucked up. I finished 20 minutes late every day this week.
It proves that you get extra money, not less, for the job. Yeah, I think I talked about the extremely brief experiment with timers on your workstation when you lock it to go to the bathroom, and just a little clock that starts as soon as you lock it, just so that the big number is there and everyone can see it, just to panic you and shame you and show how long you've been taking a shit for,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, that fucking went away right quick. You're just
I
adding stress to everyone's fucking head for nothing.
I we were supposed to get a 15-minute break because it's mandated, but I would always, like, literally almost every single day have to stay an extra 10 minutes because to close up or whatever. And so I just started taking 20 minutes on every break. And then I got called in, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm staying longer than I'm scheduled because you screw up the thing. Schedule me to 10:15. No? Okay. I worked exactly 8 hours. What's the problem? And that just happened over and over and over and over.
Hey, you know what?
Eventually they just got tired of it.
It's time to pick up smoking because smokers get more breaks than non-smokers.
They sure do.
Literally start smoking so that you have an excuse to go outside, perhaps even with the boss, and get more time to chill than people who don't fucking smoke. Like, that is real. Super real. And it's fucked up, but that's just the way it goes.
I think my favorite ever was after like 6 years of this garbage, right? And I think I've told the story before about like how like all the freezers would always break and leak everywhere, like all the time. And it's like, okay, it's 9:55 p.m. All right, what's going on? Here's what's going on. Every freezer in the fucking building breaks. Okay. Boss runs up to me. It's at now 9:56. Pat, oh God, all the freezers are broken. You're still here, right? I'm going, yeah, till 10. They go, well, you got to stay. We got to save this meat. I'm like, I don't care. What the fuck do I give a shit? Like, okay, well, we'll pay you. I'm like, yeah, you would have to. Are you going to pay me time and a half? No. Well, you have to stay. I'm telling you, you have to stay. I'm like, okay, all right. Let me go get my my shit in my locker, and then I'll whatever. And then they turned around to go to the freezers, and I walked right to my punch card and punched the fuck out and left.
Yeah.
And then the next time I went in, they're fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Boy, were they fucking pissed.
Yeah. How'd you play that?
You scheduled me till 10. Every single week, every single person that worked there on cash or otherwise said, you need to schedule me till 10:30 because we're here till 10:30. And we are arguing with you every single week. Every single week.
Ballsy to
over
assume
the extra minutes.
Ballsy to assume no recourse on that because, you know, not everybody has the liberty of like.
There was no recourse.
Because there's no legal recourse, but like people will make your life a living hell for just not being a team player and taking the hit, you know?
So that's the best part, is that there was no recourse at all because the grocery store union was actually super good. Okay. And every 3 months that you worked there, to get fired, you needed 3 written warnings followed by 2 meetings. And that would stack up. So since I had been there for 6 or 7 years, they would have to give me 29 weeks of written warnings and like 10 in-person meetings.
Okay. To
even discuss firing me.
So you had grocery store tenure.
I had grocery store tenure, and the deal with the people who worked there, who would be like I can't believe you're not a team player or whatever, is that when you run a place that badly, everyone hates it and everyone's like, yeah, fucking go. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna like, it's this thing of like sneaking out of your job when your shift is over. That is like the absolute ultimate of how fucked it is. Mm-hmm. Of like, I finished half an hour ago.
Yeah.
The only reason that this whole situation worked is, 1, there was a good union, and 2, in Quebec at least, once you punch, if you work, it's illegal. Like every minute on the off the clock is big illegal, and people will get very mad.
Well, unfortunately, standing in line to wait for your correction on your paycheck for 45 minutes doesn't count as working. So
that's great.
Yeah. Have you ever had the adrenaline rush of a bounced check? There is nothing that fires up the synapses, that clears your sinuses, that wakes you the fuck up than a bounced paycheck. Boy, are you alert.
So, you know what, Willie? I've described this emotion before, and I'm glad that you're describing it now. It is the emotion. It is legitimately exciting. And it is, I'm going to get to have a big motherfucking fight in which I am 100% right. There's no way I can be wrong. I'm 100% in the clear. I get to throw a fucking adult tantrum for real, and no one can stop me.
My landlord has post-dated checks. How dare you push your bounce onto me and my living situation? You fucking ingrate. Like,
So I'll get
don't bounce a check.
I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better, and it's a somewhat combination of the two things we've been talking about. Grocery store used direct deposit, didn't use checks.
Yes.
Which means you don't get a bounce check.
Right.
What you get is, I'm going to pay for something, and then your card's declined. Mm-hmm. Your debit card is declined.
Mm-hmm.
And you go,
that's impossible.
Like, I worked X hours, blah, 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 blah. Today is Tuesday or whatever the day was, that I should easily be able to pay for the sandwich. What the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
It's the you don't even get the benefit of knowing that you're broke. you just find out that you're broke.
Yeah, someone just reminded me, I totally read this stat the other day. Wage theft is way more like the sum total of wage theft is massive by comparison to actual property theft.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it is the largest form of like, it's the largest classification of theft.
It's way easier to just not give someone money than it is to take money away.
You know, and like, someone's stealing money from you, go stand in line and like file a complaint and hope that they decide to give it back to you.
You know who me and my coworkers hated more than anyone else at work? We hated them more than the bosses even. It was like the 2 or 3 guys who were just working there as a part-time job and didn't actually care about money at all. They were just doing it for their parents or whatever. And when they got bummed on their paychecks, they didn't bother to bring it up.
Because that made
those guys made it fucking financially feasible to stiff us on our fucking checks.
They made it okay.
They were the actual fucking worst. Like, congrats. I have to fight for my cash every single week because you're too lazy to go, hey, bitch, give me my money. Once. Awful. Ugh. I am probably owed like thousands and thousands of dollars in back pay that I never caught. And so are you, very likely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you had the mental math of your owed extra check, like your owed makeup, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You have to then subtract that from the next check you are owed and do the math, because they're paying you what they fucking stole from you plus what they're currently stealing from you. So you have to be on your shit to make sure they're not double stealing from you.
Yeah, and then there'd be dumbasses go, wow, I got a really big check this week. Yeah, because you got nothing last week.
Yeah.
They forgot to pay you entirely.
Well, anyway.
Say what you will about fucking Twitch. They fucking pay me on time.
It does. The trains do run on time. Here at Twitch. And
I got a goddamn message once from Twitch that says we screwed up the math. Here's extra money. It wasn't much.
I got that too.
Right? It was like a couple $100 or whatever, but it was like, oh, sick. Great.